this thing on? Hello. Welcome. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Welcome to the Cardone Solutions Podcast. I am your host of the Cardone Solutions Podcast. My name is David Bradley, Senior Sales and Marketing Manager with Grant Cardone. Now, hey, what do we do on the Cardone Solutions Podcast? Well, it's quite simple. It's quite fun, too, frankly. I mean, I'm having a blast doing this thing. But what we do, and when I say we, I'm talking about me and you and I. You and I together, we are going to take a look at Grant's free content, the stuff that's floating around on the internet. Maybe it's a blog post, maybe it's an article he's written, maybe it's an email he sent out, maybe it's a tweet, something that's thrown up on the gram. Haven't really ventured into TikTok yet, kind of scares me. But we're going to take the free material that's out there and we're going to pull it apart. We're going to dissect it. We're going to throw some measurable action ideas on top of it and then serve it back to you so that you can take it and you can plug it in to your sales and your business and your life. Now, for those of you who have been tuning in for a hot minute, do me a favor. Make sure you've subscribed. If you are brand new, welcome. Thank you for being here. Appreciate that. Allow me to invite you to hit the subscribe button, to hit the follow button, wherever it is you're enjoying podcast listening. Make sure that you follow along so you don't miss a thing, because a lot of exciting stuff happens on the Cardone Solutions Podcast. Also, if it has given you some value, if you're digging on it, if you're loving on it, if it has helped, if it is serving you, make sure that you share this thing with somebody else. Get this out into cyberspace. Tweet it, post it up on LinkedIn, put it up on Facebook, something. Text it out to somebody. Hey, dude, you need to listen to this. It's kind of like sending somebody scope in the mail back in the day. Like if you hear something that somebody needs to hear, right? Just drop it in their inbox. Help somebody else. If it's helping you, I guarantee it's going to help somebody else. So also, if last thing, and then I'll just move into the next stage of the podcast. Hey, leave a review. Would you? Would that be all right? Like if you're loving on it. In fact, you know what? Even if you're hating on it, if it sucks, it doesn't. But if it did, right? Maybe you think it does. I don't know. It's your opinion. Share it. Share that with me too, right? You got some tips, some suggestions, some ideas, some things you'd like me to do or things you'd like me to knock off. Let me know. Okay. Would love a review. Throw me some stars, thumbs up, thumbs down, tweets, shares, feedback, anything. Because ultimately the podcast is for two people. Number one, it's for me. Sorry, I'm selfish about it, but it helps reinforce everything I believe and what I do every single day. So, but I also want to give to you, and I want to make sure that what I'm putting out there is helpful. So if it's not, let me know. If it is, let me know. Okay. Thank you for that. And now let's pause for a commercial message. This episode of the Cardone Solutions Podcast is brought to you by Cardone University. This is literally everything you need to run your business and your household. Wait, what? Household? That's right. The purpose of Cardone University is to help you be the cause of your economy. Okay, and the word economy, it's a Greek root. Oikos means home. Okay, so Cardone University is everything you need to run your business and your household. If you're furloughed, if you're unemployed, if you're not working right now, there's what you need to know right now for you to get yourself a new job in 36 hours or less. Okay, if you have found yourself in a place where you have to start over in this down economy, Grant's going to show you exactly how to do that. If you need to brush up on your sales and your sales skills, more or less, okay, and then how to be successful in this post-COVID world, we have solutions for you there, okay? If you need to discover and build and generate multiple flows of income, we got lots of solutions in there for you, okay? This is self-improvement on steroids. This is how you learn and to stay positive and motivated every single day. How do you get out of bed every single day and keep coming back? Keep getting more, right? Okay, there's a Rocky Balboa speech coming at you if I don't shift gears real fast, okay? How do you get everybody in your immediate circle, the people that you're close to, the people that you love, on the same page with you and pushing you and helping you reach your full potential, okay? How do you get more money, okay? Join us on this journey. come join us at Cardone University. And right now you can get 14 days free access on the program when you go to this website, cardonesolutions.com/Cardone free. That's cardonesolutions.com/Cardone, the letter U, the word free. cardonesolutions.com/Cardone free. Check it out. So for today I'm going to be taking from an email that Grant put out there a while back recently, a little bit, a couple weeks ago, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, there's an email that went out, and the subject of the email was the 2 most powerful words in sales. The most powerful 2 words in sales. What do you think they are? Before I reveal them to you, while I go through the introduction, think about what you think they might be. Think about what you think they might be. Does that make sense? That made sense, didn't it? Okay. So look, if speaking of thinking, speaking of wondering, okay, if ever there was a thing or such a thing as a secret trick that you could use to increase your sales, well, there kind of is. Now, one of the first lessons that I learned from Grant when I first started studying his material in 2003 was that selling is a conversation, and power comes from the words that you use. So words in sales, man, they matter. They're important, like big time. And so the secret trick, quote unquote, is to have a full understanding of the power behind 2 simple words. Do you know what they are yet? The words are, I agree. One more time. I agree. I agree. I agree. So here in Grant's office, we have quite literally lost count of how many deals that should not have happened but did happen simply by starting the conversation from a place of agreement and going into it from a place of agreement. And so agreement, it literally lets people understand that you empathize with them, that they now know that you understand their feeling and their position. Agreement almost immediately can diffuse any conflict. And more importantly, if we're talking about sales specifically, it moves you closer to a deal. Now, in the email, there was this really cool quote that I loved. Without agreement, there can be no agreement. Ergo contract. So now Grant talks about this as well in his book, Sell or Be Sold. And we're going to cover it in greater depth in Cardone University. But this is a sales principle that transcends selling. And it's a very, very simple, definitely not easy. We've talked about simple and easy seeming like they go hand in hand, but clearly they don't. It's a simple rule, and it will help you in every area of your life. And the better and the deeper your understanding of it is, the better it helps. So in his book, Sell or Be Sold, there's a whole chapter on it. Always, always, always agree. Not just always agree. There's 3 always in front of the word agree. So it's just a little important. In fact, it's so important that in Cardone University, the program is labeled the first rule of selling. And in Cardone U, there's 29 courses based on just understanding the principle, and then everything else inside the entire program begins with this. So in addition to saying, I agree, you could also say something like, I understand. I understand. I understand. You could say, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Okay? You could say, I hear you. And make sure that they hear that you hear them. I hear you, man. I hear you. I hear you. Okay? And it is amazing how even in some very, very simple interactions, how important it is for people to be right. And so what does that mean for you though? Right? Let's back up a step. Think about, what did I just say? I said it's amazing how in even very simple interactions, even ones that are limited to 240 characters, in very simple interactions, how important it is for some people to be right. And so what this means for you in a selling position is that you have a choice to make. Do you want to be right? Or do you want to get a deal? So I'll ask that question again. Do you want to be right? Or do you want to get a deal? Because making somebody else right and allowing them to be right moves you into what? Agreement. And without agreement, there can be no, that's right, agreement, ergo contract, deal. So, and this is why it's the most important rule, because this isn't just about selling anymore, is it? Suddenly. Man, that's a life lesson we're talking about right now. That ties into everything. If your need to be right is more important than your happiness or your production, then that means something. That means that there's a really good chance, 99.999%, that your ego is running the show now and not your highest self. So, in reality, always, always, always agree is actually, it's a principle. It's not a tactic. It's not a trick. It is a means of opening a dialogue. It's a means of establishing meaningful communication with somebody. If you want agreement on something, you must give agreement. Especially when we're talking about the exchange of ideas. When we get into that now, agreement, it diffuses tension. It opens up the possibility of elevated thinking. Empathy and understanding should carry priority. Now, if we did a whole episode on the podcast about, is your ego bigger than your closing ratio? Okay. And if that's the case, you need to get a fix on it. Because if you don't, it's costing you right now. I mean, this one simple concept, agreement, you dial this in right, could be worth millions to you. Millions. So Grant, last 35 years of his career, he's put it all together in a very exclusive collection, which is Cardone University. And then it's out there right now for you. Because if you really want to dial this in, it's not enough to just get it from me. You need to get it you need to go right to the source. You need to get it from Grant. But even that's not enough. I mean, if you really want to dial this in, you got to practice it. You got to drill it. You got to rehearse it. And you need to test yourself. And you don't need to be practicing it on a customer. Remember what I said earlier about words and sales, they matter, okay? So I'm going to give you an action idea. We're going to practice this right now, okay? Before you get on the phone, before you get in front of a customer, if you work retail with your mask on or not, whatever, okay? Before you get in front of a customer, drill at least the 4 I just gave you. And if you can have a partner to do it, it would be amazing if you practiced agreeing with and being in agreement with the objections you get on a regular basis. So think about that for a second. What do you hear? What are some objections that you hear on the regular? Now, if you don't have a partner, you should practice this in front of a mirror. Maybe even record yourself and listen back. You're going to be your biggest critic anyway. Okay, so here's the 4. Let's do them again. I'm going to say it, and then you say it. Okay, I'll do it, and then you come back. Okay, I agree. I agree. I'm with you. I'm with you. Hey, I understand. I understand. I understand. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Okay? Try that every single day before you get in front of a customer. Maybe grab a partner and role play it out. We're not interested. I hear you. We're not interested. I understand. I'm just looking. I'm with you. Your price is too high. I agree. Okay? Now, what about the test part? I said, did you say test earlier, Dave? Yeah, I did. Thank you for asking. I did talk about a test. Okay? So let me ask you this. What would it be worth for you to be able to literally practice that out, drill it, rehearse it, to just get dialed in on agreement with Grant and the sales team in person? No growth happens in a comfort zone. That's the test. The test is you getting out of your comfort zone. The test is you being able to practice, drill it, and rehearse it in front of Grant and the entire sales team, maybe another 499 people. Because right now, here's where I'm going with this. Right now, you can get access to 12 months of Cardone University and a ticket to our boot camp. We got 4 scheduled this year for only $1,497. The boot camp ticket alone typically starts at $6,000. But we're going to get you in the door and get you 12 months access to Cardone University for $1,497. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell you why you wouldn't do this. I'm not going to tell you why you would, because I already did that. I'm going to tell you why you wouldn't. And there's only one reason. And don't believe me when I tell you what it is. Because this isn't about you believing me. This is about you believing you. And this is how it's been your whole life. Okay? An opportunity presents itself and you make a decision one way or the other. But based on what? Commitment. And this is your commitment to you. This is your commitment to your goals. This is your commitment to your dreams. It's your commitment to the survival of your family and your legacy. Because at $1,497, this is not about the money anymore. It's about commitment. Because if you're committed, you'll find the money. So if you're thinking you don't have the money right now, then I want to invite you to actually examine your level of commitment. What are you committed to right now? And is that commitment in line with your full potential? Your goals, your dreams, the solvency of your household, your oikos. Okay? And once all that dials in correctly, the money will show up because you know what follows commitment? Creativity. Okay? Your level of creativity will always match your level of commitment. Okay, so what'd you get out of today's episode? Let's do a little testy test if you've been paying attention, okay? To get an agreement, you must first do what? Right? What do you think that is? You remember what it was? I'm not going to tell you. If you can't remember what it was, then you got to go back and find it. Okay? What are some common objections that you are hearing in your sales process right now, and can you practice before handling the objection, agreeing first? Okay, so do that as well. Make sure you've got a partner to do it with, or at the very least that you do it in front of a mirror, or record yourself so you can see. Like I said earlier, you're going to be your biggest critic, okay? Great places to do it. Practice agreeing, drill agreeing, rehearse agreeing, and then, hey, come do it with us in person. That's the real test, all right? Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to leave you in the words of Uncle G. Be great, because nothing else pays.